going to call up our featured, is that the right term? Our Lunch and Learn presentation speaker in a moment. He's got a background in history with us, which I'll briefly allude to. But I want to mention also that the boat, which we've now got lots of signups for, we were flogging that like crazy. It's going to be fun. I'm told there are, beverages of interest on the boat, which will make it a lot more fun. And it's going to leave from down the hill over here, but we're suggesting assembling just right outside here where the buffet now is, and then we'll go down the hill together. But it's right down the hill. If you happen to be late, go down the hill and look for the Austin Boat Ramp. Is that the name of it?
That's the rowing club.
Austin Rowing Club. That's the dock from which it's going. It's right down the hill. We're going to meet at 2 and head out at 2:10 or so, 2:15. So, if those are the instructions for today. Tonight, what time? 6:30. And where is that?
We're going to leave in the front of the hotel.
Okay.
At 6:30.
Going to leave in front of the hotel at 6:30 on a bus, and it's also walkable and drivable if you have a car. So stand by for more information about that. So our presenter today, sponsored LiveRamp. Presenter is Zach Colias, Business Development of LiveRamp. Zach, if you want to go back to the archives of MediaPost, he was on a panel at something we called OMA AdNets in 2011, and it's the most riveting panel we've ever had, caused by Zach. He was very early in calling out the conflict on the agency side when they also were doing your programmatic buying for them, which of course has gone on till this day. In any event, Zach is ahead of his time, and we're happy to have the support of LiveRamp, and I think you'll enjoy hearing from Zach. Zach?
All right, now does that work? All right. Hello, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thank you everyone who made this possible. As was said, I go way back with the folks at MediaPost. I think they do amazing work. Have always done good work. My career was directly impacted by that panel. So I don't know if it was their fault or if it was the greatness of their organization that made it possible, but it was good. So I'm working with LiveRamp these days, and specifically I'm working on facilitating, helping bring LiveRamp's giant stable of advertisers over to publishers. Oh, there we go. For those of you who don't know about LiveRamp, basically LiveRamp is owned by Acxiom. And the primary thing that LiveRamp does is it basically provides as an onboarding service for offline data. We do it with almost all of the major advertisers in the country. So as you can see, all the big names are up there. We can't put it on the board, but it's people like GM and Chase and Fidelity and Target and Macy's and pretty much every major brand. If you have some sort of offline data, names, addresses, phone numbers about your consumers, and you want to utilize that in an online way, you come through LiveRamp. We power on the back end most of the DMPs that you work with. So if your DMP provides you with an onboarding service, we power those folks on a white label basis. It's a pretty good sized business at this point. About $1 billion a year gets spent on LiveRamp data. Across the internet. That was last year. We're growing really fast, so this year will probably be a lot more than that. So pretty substantial scale comes out of LiveRamp advertisers and LiveRamp data. They gave me this cool clicker. It's like the Starship Enterprise, and I'm just afraid it's not going to work. But it seems to work, so we're good. Okay, the primary reason for that, and I think everyone in this room is very familiar with this concept, is people-based marketing. It just works really, really, really well. So if you're doing custom audiences with Facebook, or you're doing it with Google, or with Twitter, it's an incredibly effective way to basically manage your advertising. It's growing at a tremendous rate. Marketers have found that they can do a number of really interesting things with people-based marketing. They can reach the exact target audiences they want to reach. They can measure to offline sales, which is incredibly important. And they can really do some interesting things to connect the dots across lots of different interesting data segments. And I'll get into what that all means in a second. But I don't think anyone is surprised when we say people-based marketing is really cool. The way we do that is we basically have what we call our identity graph. And so what that is a privacy-safe way of basically taking a person's name, address, and phone number, their PII, as we would call it in the lingo. I swear there's more acronyms in this business than I'll ever be able to keep track of. And I've been in it for a decade now, so I'm losing track very quickly. But basically, we can take that PII and in a very privacy-safe way, we can basically turn it into anonymous cookies and device IDs so that the advertisers can target those across all the different places that they would want to target those. So just to give you an example, how many people in this room are in the market for a full-size pickup truck? They're going to buy one this year. Nobody. How many people in this room have watched TV in the last week? How many people in this room have seen an ad for a full-size pickup truck when you watch TV? Okay. So I think we all know that there's tremendous waste in the online ad business. Like if you're watching TV in the online and offline ad business, but if you're watching media, you're seeing ads for things that are not interesting to you whatsoever on a daily basis. What we provide, what LiveRamp provides, is the ability for Ford to basically take a list of names of people who not only are in the market to buy a full-size pickup truck, but maybe in the market to buy a Ford full-size pickup truck. They can give us those names. They bring those names from their offline data, from the vehicle registrations, or from the dealership that they buy from, or wherever they get the names and addresses of those people that have bought full-size pickup trucks. Ford knows exactly the name of the people that are interested in buying a truck, and what they can do is they can basically hand those names over to us. We turn those names into the device IDs and cookies that they can then target, and then they can go out and show ads across every single platform on the web to basically provide that very, very, very targeted advertising to those individuals with the ability to then go back and connect it to actual vehicle registrations that happen over the following 6 months. So Ford can say, okay, we had 5 million people in our target audience. We showed them a bunch of ads. We had 1 million of those people we didn't show any ads to at all. And we can look at the delta, the lift that's generated by our ads in the actual vehicle registrations of who bought the full-size pickup truck. And so we're going from a world where we watch TV and 80% of those people who see those full-size pickup ads will never, ever buy that full-size pickup truck. We're going to a world where that used to be the status quo, to a world where every single person will be seeing ads that are directly targeted to who they are, what they're interested in, and connected to their actual offline transactions. I think it's pretty exciting. We're making the media world much more efficient, and LiveRamp's playing a pretty important role in that. But the reason why I'm here today, the reason why I'm talking to publishers today, is the $1 billion that our clients spent on media last year, that almost all got spent on Facebook and Google and across the exchanges. Those are the places that have the most scale. That's where we started. Makes a lot of sense. If you're going to be leveraging a small data set, you want to be able to do it in the biggest places possible, and it's worked really well. But our clients from the beginning have been saying to us, hey, this data works really well. It's super effective. We can now measure offline. But what we really, really want to be able to do is buy high-impact ad units directly from publishers. Because when you have high-impact ad units, they actually work a lot better. They actually cause people to buy the truck. They actually cause people to go to the movie. They actually cause people to do the things that we want to do. We're tired of buying banner ads under the fold that are filled with fraud when we buy in the exchanges. We're tired of the incredibly high prices that we have to pay Facebook, which is great because it works really well, but it's really expensive, and that channel no longer scales anymore. We really want to be able to utilize the data that we have with LiveRamp to go directly to publishers and buy directly from publishers. So basically, LiveRamp has a new product that we've been rolling out over the last couple months, and it's pretty exciting. I've never understood why they use those pictures that clearly come from stock photos. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, who's ever seen an office that looks like that? But okay, so the LiveRamp product is called Identity Link for Publishers, and basically what it is it's custom audiences for everybody. So what we're doing, it's a totally free product, no rev share. We don't charge anything for you as a publisher or for any publisher that we work with. But what we're doing is we're attempting to bring the custom audiences capabilities that Facebook and Google and almost all the big platforms have. We're bringing those to publishers who are not those big platforms. We're bringing it to, we're looking for larger publishers, people who have, millions and millions of users. We're not quite ready to give it to the smaller folks yet, but for larger publishers, we're bringing basically the custom audiences capability, and we're providing it to those publishers because we want to really enable our advertisers, the people who pay us, our customers. We want to enable them to bring their money and bring their data to you, the other publishers, and spend money from that. And so how does it work? What are we actually doing? So basically what we're doing is LiveRamp is syncing with, let's say you're a publisher. We'll use an example. We'll talk about Hearst. So let's say you're Hearst and you want to use this capability. So what LiveRamp will do is we will sync with your audience base. And what we mean by sync with your audience base is basically we will provide you with a cross-device deterministic ID for every user you have across every platform that you have as a publisher. So now Hearst basically has IDs for all of its users across email and desktop and mobile and everywhere it goes. That's the magic of the LiveRamp graph. We have that cross-device view of the world, and we can basically connect people across all those different places. And we provide that graph to Hearst and give that. They can put that into their DMP. They can put it in their ad server. They can put it wherever they want. Suddenly, they basically have a bunch of LiveRamp IDs against all of their users. Then what we do, and the core of our business, is when Ford uploads that 5 million person audience that they want to target to show ads for the full-size pickup truck. Now, at the push of a button, basically, we can send those IDs from LiveRamp over to Hearst and enable that data to be used to do custom audiences type targeting across all of the platforms that Hearst has. It's very simple. We take the IDs that we have, we give them to Hearst, and boom, all of a sudden, basically, you can now do very interesting, person-level targeting across all of the Hearst properties. You can also do some cool stuff, too. You can take those IDs and say, okay, Ford, turns out all those people tend to congregate on our sports sites. Hey, maybe you should just do a takeover for everybody who visits the sports sites because clearly your audience over-indexes on this particular property. Or you can look behind the scenes and say, oh, well, we actually have all this proprietary data that we, Hearst, have been building up over the years. And if we take that data and compare it against the data that you just gave us, it turns out here's another 2 million people that you would potentially want to target. And so what we're attempting to do is basically use those IDs as a seed to basically create a way for Hearst and Ford in a collaborative way to work together to spend Ford's money with Hearst and enable them to do a lot of interesting stuff using the data that LiveRamp brings to the table. So like I said, it's totally free, no rev share. It's really designed to enable a direct sale between the media buying team on the Ford side and bring it over to Hearst. So I've had about 70 of these conversations over the last couple months, and almost every call we get about 10 minutes into it. We get to about this point, and on the call, somebody's like, so that sounds like a good deal. So you're going to bring us advertisers, you're not going to charge us anything, and we get to do custom audiences like Facebook. What's the catch? Like how does this, why does LiveRamp succeed in this world? The answer to that, actually I skipped this slide. I think I already explained this, but the answer to that is super easy. LiveRamp connects everything. We're the glue for our advertisers. They come through us, they get to Facebook, they get to the DMP, a DSP that they work with, they get to the ad net that they work with. We basically serve as the connector in this ecosystem. And as the connector in this ecosystem, the more places we connect, the better off we are. And so our advertisers pay us for the ability to take that data, onboard it, and then ship it to the places that they're interested in reaching. But publishers, it's not a world that we've connected to yet. And so what we're attempting to do is connect into the publishing ecosystem to build up really strong partnerships with our clients or with those publishers to enable our clients to spend more money with those publishers, to do more interesting things, because that really makes us more valuable at the end of this game, that we actually get paid for every new place that our clients spend money. So what we're hoping, and one of the reasons why I'm here, and I'm hoping that you guys can provide me feedback after this or thoughts, and is really to make this a win-win-win. We feel like the advertisers win because they get to have more places where they can spend their money. They're excited about that. They believe that they really want to get access to those high-impact ad news to those premium publishers. We feel that our publishing partners should win in this scenario because they get access to basically new ad dollars, very incremental ad dollars because it's coming from a new place in a new way. They get new capabilities so they can basically provide their own version of custom audiences directly to advertisers or to our clients. And we feel like we win, obviously, because we can basically enable our clients to do more with their data. So we'd really like to, if any of you are interested in this, we'd really like to have a conversation about what we're doing and why we're doing it and how it's working. We'd love to hear your feedback. This is something that we're particularly excited about because we believe this is the future. We believe that using data for advertising is really the future of all advertising. And we're looking forward to your thoughts and any questions that you might have. I'm really excited to hear those. So thank you very much for all your time. Thanks to the MediaPost folks. Thanks for this great venue. Pretty sweet, stay at the Four Seasons. So please keep up the good work.
Thanks, Zach. As always, thank you very much. Does anyone have a quick question for Zach now that can't wait? I mean, we'd love to take a question if you have one. If not, you're going to be here all night tomorrow as well. Okay. Are you solo?
Thursday.
Are you by yourself, or you have no other colleague with you? Okay. So, if you have questions, thank you. Great takeaway. One thing that guys like Zach and our other sponsors who present give us is a nice solution, a nice platform, some takeaway that you can take back with you to the office, which is nice. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, we usually give out swag and it sucks, but at LiveRamp we do try to be useful. So these batteries are really cool. They just plug them right into the wall. You don't have to worry about that extra cord, and now you suddenly have a takeaway battery for your phone, which seems like it might be useful. So
That's pretty good. All right, I like that. Okay, big round. Okay, very good. All right, thanks, Zach. All right, so as Ken mentioned before, those of you taking the boat, we'll leave. We'll assemble right here at 2:00, just out in the foyer, and then we'll walk down the hill and board the boat. It's gonna be warm out there, so bring your sunglasses, and I'd probably move into some shorts if you've got those available. And then the golfers, you know who you are. You guys are all set for your tee time.